this particular module available here with this flow. To do that, as we know, we have to pass the file path to it and get out some details from it. And these things we'll be using right here, right? So whatever we are trying to fetch, the details, we'll be using them over here to get the email ID and to append it to the master sheet. So we have to get all these extracted details out to this particular XAML file, the process XAML file. To do that, all the variables that we have over here called date of joining, location, and all this has to be the arguments, and this is also an argument. So what we can do is we can pass in appointment file path. So this is something that we will get from the outside, and all these things that we call designation, it should be an out variable, out designation, and the next one is date of joining, is also an out. Similarly, we have to do it for all the variables that we have. Location, out, finally CTC. Now just try to delete all these variables available. Replace all this with the values that you have right now. Out designation. You can remove this because it's just a message box and no longer we need it. Date of joining. Remove this. Out location. Remove this. Out CTC. That's done. So now everything is replaced with arguments, and this we have to replace it with in appointment letter. Okay, now it's all set. Now go back to process and see if you are able to see all of those arguments right here. Yeah, so into this we have to pass appointment file, okay, and then we have to create all this in the process file so that we can assign this value to the variables into this process and then use them in the further XAMLs. Let me create those things. Designation, which is a string, date of joining, which is a string, and then it was location, which is a string, and then finally CTC. Go back to this and try assigning all these variables to this out arguments. Designation, date of joining, location, and CTC. So by now what we expect is they should give us this particular variables out. With that expectation, let me go back to the activities and drag this and see. Just use designation plus VBLF, a new line, and then date of joining plus what else we have, location plus CTC. Just use a new line so that we'll be able to see it very well. in the message box. Okay, with that knowledge, let me go back to this and check for any errors over here. Validate file. There are no errors, so I can run it once. Debug. Once I do that, I can see there are 4 files. Okay, I'm right here, and I have a breakpoint here. Step into, step into, step into. Instead of clicking with the mouse, you can use F11 to do that. Okay, here it is. Now it's trying to assign the payroll declaration. Okay, we have the values with us. It's trying to display them, and now it is into this. It's trying to go into this, and now see, in appointment file path, we have the file path of that particular PDF. So it's trying to read it, and then here we have the data. So this time it's dynamic. It's just trying to fetch the details, and this is something that we have to actually remove. Then in the out date of joining, we have nothing, and now we have the value in it. Similarly, we have fetched everything and it is out of this particular XAML, and it is right here. So values inside this are now available in the process. Okay,